Hello everybody and welcome to Whiskey Daddy Review number 4. This is our concluding episode of our 3-part series of all the Colonel E.H. Taylor bourbons and ryes. We did the Colonel E.H. Taylor small batch bottled and bond first. We did the Colonel E.H. Taylor rye bottled and bond, straight rye bottled and bond next. And now we're doing the Colonel E.H. Taylor single barrel bottled and bond. Of course, the difference between the small batch and the single barrel is this is actually being drawn from a single barrel they selected and they thought would be a really good match. And of course, the small batch is a blending together of 2 or more barrels. Don't know the exact number, but I believe it's somewhere between about 5 to 10 barrels they use for blending this particular brand. Of course, Colonel E.H. Taylor was one of the, I guess, the pioneers in getting this Bottled and Bond Act of 1897 up and running. The whiskey at that time was being adulterated a lot. People were getting sick from drinking it, and so this established a set of rules that when you saw that a whiskey was bottled and bond, you knew it was good quality. You knew it was aged for at least 4 years. You knew it was at least 100 proof, and that it had been aged in a government-monitored warehouse. These days, it's not as important to have bottled and bond, but a lot of companies like to keep it for marketing and for nostalgia. But it is nice to know that when you see bottled and bond, you know the product is at least 4 years old, it's at least 100 proof, and generally that means you're going to get more flavor. More alcohol, more flavor. And so, like with Evan Williams, they offer your standard 80%, but then you can also get the white label, which is 100 proof, and that's 50%. And you put the two side by side, and there's no doubt which one is the 100 proof. It's a lot more robust. It's got a lot more flavor. All right, but let's get into this now. Of the Buffalo Trace products, as Buffalo Trace now owns this label, and they continue to produce it each year. They have 2 mash bills for their bourbon. One is a high rye mash bill. One is a low rye mash bill. This is the low rye of the 2. Okay. Now, having said that, in the small batch, I get a lot more of that rye spice. Whereas with the single barrel, the nose is very robust. It's a lot of caramel, a lot of vanilla. But I don't get as much of the rye spice. I get more of a banana note, coconut, a little bit of orange peel, orange oil. Not as much of that salted peanut like I got with the small batch. And this is neat. Let's take a taste. The arrival and the development on this bourbon is absolutely fantastic. Very sweet in the beginning, caramel, vanilla, and then you just get this rush. A little bit of cinnamon spice. The banana kicks in, the coconut. And the only problem is the development. Then when it goes into the finish, it fades very quickly. The finish on the small batch, and especially the finish on the rye, are much longer, much more robust, more woody, but not overly tannic. It's just you get more of a finish with this one. You get this amazing arrival, this amazing development, and it's kind of in and out. Let's add a little bit of water to it. Got our trusty little water dropper here. Not much. This one does drown easy. With the rye, I added a good bit of water. With the small batch, I didn't add much, and with this one, I'm only going to add about 5 drops. Give it a little stroll and roll. Wow. That immediately changes it. The banana really comes out now. It's like a great bananas Foster. The caramel comes forward. A lot of the sweetness really starts to emerge now. It's already pretty sweet to begin with, but now it gets really sweet. Let's see if the finish improves. The arrival and the development of this whiskey was so good. The water hasn't really created a better finish, but it has lengthened the development out some. So now, as you're getting the coconut, the banana, and all that, it seems to last. That crescendo seems to last a little longer. But still, when you go into the finish, it does fade away. These bourbons are exceptional bourbons. Buffalo Trace does a great job. If you see them on the shelf, I would definitely recommend go ahead and picking them up. But of the three, I would have to say that my favorite is the rye, which, I might be a little biased because I really love ryes, but I would still put the single barrel at a solid 90, right where I put the small batch. Of course, the only difference being, of course, the small batch costs about half the price of the single barrel. So you got to take that into account. Best bang for your buck probably is the small batch. But if I had to choose between the three to buy again, I'd probably end up buying the rye. But just for good measure, we'll give it another smell. The corn is coming out more now. The corn from the mash bill is starting to become more evident. Good stuff. I hope you enjoyed this little mini series that we have with Colonel E.H. Taylor, and we're going to continue to do this with some other whiskeys. But coming up next for you, the next whiskey day, we're actually reviewing another Scotch. It's the Glenmorangie 2 Sale. So I hope you come back and join us for that one. And cheers. We'll see you guys next time.